Hello everyone. Today we are going to read about socio-religious reform movements and its general features. There are some factors that give rise to desire for reform. So the first one is religious and social ills. The priests exercised an overwhelming and ended unhealthy influence on the minds of the people. Idolatry and polytheism help to reinforce their position and their monopoly of scriptural knowledge. And the second is a depressing position of women. There were attempts to kill female infants, child marriages, polygamy, and performing sati. Then, after the caste system, rigid caste system, and untouchability practiced, then the intrusion of colonial culture and its ideology, then growth of nationalist sentiments and impact of modern Western ideas and culture, emergence of new economic forces, spread of education, and increased awareness of world strengthen the resolve to reform. So these are the factors which give rise to reform. For the betterment of position of women, women were generally accorded a low status, no identity, inferior to men, no scope of giving expression to their talents, as they were suppressed by practices such as Varda system, early marriages, ban on widow remarriage, and sati. And women did not enjoy the right to inherit property. So, women were economically and socially dependent on male. The reformers basically appealed doctrines of individualism and equality. There are several steps taken to make women's position better. So the first one is abolition of sati, influenced by frontal attack launched by enlightened Indian reformer led by the Raja Ram Mohan Roy. The government under Governor General William Bentinck declared the sati practice illegal and punishable by criminal court as culpable homicide. The regulation of 1829 was applicable in the first instance to Bengal presidency alone, but it was extended in slightly modified forms to Madras and Bombay presidencies in 1830. Then preventing female infanticides. This is practice of murdering female infants immediately after their birth. This was very common practice as females are considered as economic burden. The Bengal Regulation 1795 and 1804 declared infanticide illegal and equivalent to murder. Then Act passed in 1870 made it is compulsory to register the birth of all babies. Next is widow remarriage. With the efforts of Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, he was principal of Sanskrit College, Calcutta. Widow Remarriage Act 1856 was passed. This act legalized the widow marriage. Then Vishnu Sastri Pandit, he founded Widow Remarriage Association in the 1850. Then another person, Karsan Das Mulji, he started Satyaprakas in 1852 to advocate widow remarriage. Then D.K. Karve, he himself married widow in 1893. He became he became secretary of Widow Remarriage Association. He opens widow home in Pune. Then controlling child marriage. The Native Marriage Act 1872 signified prohibiting child marriage. Rukmabai Rawat, she was India's first woman physician to practice medicine. She was married at the age of 11 years to Dadaji Bhikaji. Then, after some 12 years of marriage, Dadaji Bhikaji demanded that she join him as a wife, but she refused. This led to the Dadaji Bhikaji versus Rukmabai case of 1884. Dadaji petitioned the Bombay High Court for restitution of conjugal rights of the husband. Then Rukmabai questioned the validity of her marriage. Then Justice Robert Hill Pinney dismissed the Dadaji's petitions, saying that Rukmabai had been married off in helpless infancy and hence could not be forced to join her husband. Then in 1187, Pinney's decision overturned by Chief Justice Charles Sargent and Justice Farran, and Rukmabai was told to live with her husband. But Rukmabai declared that either rather she undergo any punishment meted out by the court rather than to go with her husband. This Rukmabai case became one of the most published court case in 19th century and brought the issues of child marriage and the rights of women to forefront. Then the group of Indian reformers such as Behramji Malabari and Ramabai Ranade formed Rukmabai Defense Committee. This committee is to bring the case to public attention. Rukmabai obtained a position of Chief Medical Officer in Surat. Then the Child Marriage Restraint Act 1929, popularly known as Sarda Act, which came into force in 1930, further pushed up the marriage of age to 18 years for boys and 14 years for girls. Then in Free India, Child Marriage Restraint Amendment Act 1978 raised the age of marriage for girls to 18 years old from 15 and for boys to 21 years old from 18 years. Now let's read about women's education. The Christian missionaries were the first to set up the Calcutta Female Juvenile Society in 1819. Then Bethune School by J.E.D. Bethune, President of Council of Education in Calcutta in 1849. Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, considered one of the pioneers of women's education. Then Jagannath Sankar Seth, also called Nana, he was active promoter of girls' education in Maharashtra. He was a founder of School Society and Native School of Bombay. When Dr. Wilson, a Scottish Christian missionary, was unable to get accommodation for the girls' school, then Nana provided accommodation for the school. Then in 1856, when the British government had announced some grant in aid to private institutions, then Nana took advantage of this and started English Marathi school in Girgaon. He also contributed funds to the girls' school started by the student libraries and scientific society. Bhau Daji, he was first Indian president of Students' Library and Scientific Society. Then Jyotirao Phule and Savitribai Phule. Savitribai Phule was first female school teacher. They both, husband and wife, opened first school for girls at Bhidewala, Pune in 1848. Jyotirao and Savitribai Phule. Then Phule also opened a night school for those working during the day and unable to attend regular school. Alexander Society of Parsis opened in 1863 was aimed to educating Parsi girls. First woman graduate was Parsi woman Cornelia Sarabji in 1887. After Lord Dalhousie declared that female education must be given frank and cordial support, then Charles Wood's dispatch on education 1854 laid great stress on need for female education. Then in 1916, Indian Women's University by Professor D.K. Karve, Lady Hardinge Medical College was opened in Delhi. Sarojini Naidu, she became first president of Indian National Congress in 1925 and later became governor of United Provinces from 1947 to 1949. Women's organization. In 1910, Sarla Devi Chaudhrani convened the first meeting of Bharat Stri Mahamandal. Objective was for promotion of education for women, abolition of Purda system, and improvement in socio-economic and political status. Then Ramabai Ranade, she founded Ladies Social Conference. She also established branch of Arya Mahila Samaj in Bombay. Pandita Ramabai Saraswati, she founded Arya Mahila Samaj. In 1925, National Council of Women in India. This was a national branch of International Council of Women was formed. Mehribai Tata, she played a vital role in its formation and advancement. In 1927, All India Women's Conference was founded by Margaret Cousins. This was first women organization with an egalitarian approach. Its conference was held at Ferguson College, Pune. Now the caste-based exploitation. Subcastes Hindu society got further subdivided into numerous subcastes due to racial admixture, geographical expansion, and diversification of crafts. There are some factors that helped to mitigate caste-based discrimination. First, British administration introduced the concept of equality before law and judicial functions of caste panchayats were taken away, and the administration functions or services were open to all castes. A new education system was on totally on secular lines. Then the organizations such as Brahmo Samaj, Prarthana Samaj, Arya Samaj, Ramakrishna Mission, Theosophists, individuals worked, spread education among the lower caste and removed restrictions. Then the national leaders and organizations, they opposed caste privileges, fought for equal civic rights, free development of individuals. Mahatma Gandhi founded All India Harijan Sangh in 1932. Jyotibai Phule, born in low-caste family, led a movement against Brahminical domination, and he accorded the highest priority to education. Then Gopal Valankar, he also known as Gopal Krishna. He founded Anarya Dosh Parihar Mandali. He was first Dalit to launch newspaper Vital Vidyavanshak. Then Kisan Fanguji Bansod. He opened his press which published journals aimed at awakening the Dalits, such as Valankar's Vital Vidvanshak. Then Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he was popularly known as Baba Saheb Ambedkar. He started a newspaper Muknayak in 1920 and founded Bahiskrit Hitakarni Sabha in 1924. Its mottos was to educate, agitate, and organize. Another newspaper, Bahiskrit Bharat in 1927. Ambedkar organized the All India Scheduled Caste Federation in 1942. He led the Mahad Satyagraha in March 1927 to challenge regressive customs of the caste Hindu. During 1920, E. Ramaswamy Naikar, he organized the self-respect movement. Sri Narayan Guru in Kerala coined a slogan, one religion, one caste, one God for mankind, which his disciple Sahadharan Ayyappan changed into no religion, no caste, no God for mankind. Then the Constitution of Free India abolishes untouchability. It forbids any restriction on access to wells, tanks, bathing ghats, hotels, cinemas, clubs, etc. In directive principle, the Constitution had led that state shall strive to promote welfare of the people by securing and protecting as effectively as it may a social order in which justice, social, economic, and political shall inform all the institution of the national life. So here the topic socio-religious reform movements general features ends. So thank you.